What's up, everybody? It's Everett here. It is Wednesday, August the 14th. Today, I took my 8th shot of testosterone, and I've been on testosterone for 10 weeks now. No changes this video. This video is strictly something that I talked about in my last video that I've kind of touched with people, but I've never actually given anyone an explanation. The few people who have asked me, I've just kind of skipped over the subject, so I'm gonna put it out there. Yeah, so we'll just jump right into that, and I guess I could tell you what the topic is. The topic for my video today is growing up transgendered. Let's see, where should we start? Maybe when I was a wee little lad, or lass, technically. I don't know. When I was a kid, I always knew that there was something off about me, that I wasn't quite normal, or what society perceives as normal, and I just never sat well with myself. I don't know if that makes any sense. I hope it does. It does in my head. I would go out, and I specifically remember one day there's a bunch of kids in my neighborhood, like a whole bunch of kids, and we would all get together and play and do all this fun shit, and there would become a certain point that it would be just the guys could play. Like, the girls couldn't play because we were girls. We weren't allowed to play football. We weren't allowed to play kickball or whatever the fuck they were doing. We weren't allowed to do it because we were girls. And that, I hated it. I hated it so much because I didn't want to be with the girls. I didn't want to go play house or fucking tea party or whatever little girls play. I didn't want to do it. I never did it. I hated it. I would rather sit by myself in a corner than go play house, with a bunch of little girls. But that's all I was left with because I wasn't a boy and I couldn't play with the boys. So I settled for being dad when we played house. I was always the dad. I refused to be the mother. So yeah, and again, it never quite sat right for me. So, but when you're that age, you don't know what transgendered is. I was a tomboy. That's all I was. Got my hanger back. I'm sorry. Sorry, Lauren. But I was a tomboy, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna grow out of it as soon as, my womanly time and all that fun shit hits. I'm gonna be a woman. And so part of me looked forward to the day when I would get my period or my first boyfriend and, go to a dance and get booze and all this other shit. And the reason I looked forward to it was because it meant that I was going to be normal. That I was finally going to be normal. And so, as those things started happening, it pushed me further. It pushed me further back from the normality that I was looking for. It made me feel like something was really wrong with me. And I didn't know what it was. And so, I didn't get all that stuff till I was like 13, 14. I was a really late bloomer in a lot of ways. So, the normal thing for little girls to do growing up is have boyfriends and, dress all girly and shit. And so I did it. And I wasn't a very pretty girl, which is fine with me. I've always been told more that I would make a pretty boy than anyone ever did telling me that I was a pretty girl, which is a little fucked up, so thanks, guys. So, let's see. I know this video is just going to be fucking everywhere because I'm trying to recall my entire childhood and it's just not working very well. So yeah, when I was about, I want to say like 13 or 14, I kind of went through this stage where I was really trying to figure what was wrong with me out. And I was really just trying to pinpoint what the hell was going on. And, around that time, I started noticing that the reason why I didn't like kissing the boys or holding hands with boys or anything, as much as I would talk about it, is because I just really didn't fucking want to. I wanted to hold hands with the pretty girls in school and, kiss the girls in school. Not all of them, because I went to school with some ugly-ass people. But that just completely just fucked my world when I figured that out. I was so scared that everyone would think that I was a freak and not want to be friends with me, and that I would never date anyone, because what girl wants to date another fucking girl, like, aside from me? And so it took me, I said 13 or 14, it took me from about 12 to, I was almost 14 to finally come out. And the first person I came out to was my aunt and one of my friends who I had met who was also like that. She was also gay, and so I felt super comfortable being able to tell her. And then I finally came out to everyone, and blah, 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 I was just the lesbian. Sorry, I keep hitting my hanger on the chair. So the fact that I could be with a girl and have that relationship was awesome. I felt so free with it, but I was also really ashamed of it. And the reason for that, I came to a conclusion about quite a while ago, which is why before testosterone, my girlfriend, all of them fucking hated it. I refused to hold hands in public. I refused to kiss in public. And a lot of it is because obviously there are children around, and I don't think that I should be the one subjecting them to that. I think that if their parents decide to subject them to something like that, or kind of open their minds, that's their parents' job. That's not my job. And another part of it is, I didn't want to be seen as a fucking lesbian. I wanted to be the boy. I wanted to be the boyfriend that took his girlfriend to the movies and took her to the dance, and I didn't want to be the lesbian. So that was really fucking hard, and I hated it so much. It just irked me. But I got over it, and around about that time, I was like 16, I think, I met this girl, and we just fell madly in love and all that shit, and it was that time that I finally realized what I thought was wrong with me, and Google helped me find myself, by the way. So I was Googling some things, and the lovely Wikipedia popped up transgender, and, out of curiosity, I clicked on it, and I just read and read and read and read everything about it, and it made me feel like shit, because I had finally realized what was wrong with me, and it sucked. All I've ever wanted was to be normal, and at this point in my life, well, the point that I'm talking about, I felt like, thanks to this shit, I'm never gonna be normal. I'm never gonna be the person that I want to be. And so I went through this really horrid depression, and just a whole bunch of shit toppled on it. I was aggravated all the time, and I just hated everything, and the poor girl that I was with, and she just got the brunt of a lot of it, because part of me wanted to blame other people, and then part of me knew that it was my own fault. But I just felt I couldn't tell anyone. This was something that for the rest of my life, I would have to just hold tight to it, and it was really upsetting. So, I couldn't even tell the person that I plan to spend the rest of my life with about it. How on earth could I possibly tell my entire family? So I went through a few years of just being as crazy as I could. I drank constantly, just partied constantly. I wanted to get rid of everything. I wanted to forget everything and just be numb to everything and just be done with everything. And this is gonna sound really bad. I knew that I couldn't kill myself, so I figured what better way to do it than to just fucking drink myself to death. And obviously it didn't work. So I wouldn't try it. It doesn't work very well. But yeah, I don't know, it sucked. And then I went through the worst breakup of my life, and that's the point where my depression just hit an all-time fucking high, or low, I don't know. It was just kind of all toppled on each other, and just fucking sucked, to say the least. So, then, a little over a year ago, I met Lauren, and I felt safe. I felt like with her, I could be myself. And it scared the shit out of me because I knew that when I was 16, I told myself that by the time I'm 21, if this hadn't gone away, that I was going to do it. I was going to be happy. And I just turned 21 a couple months ago, so when I got with Lauren, I knew that it would come to her either loving me or leaving me, along with everyone else. And that was legitimately the scariest moment of my life, was when I told somebody. And then it opened up a floodgate of having to tell everybody, and it was the worst experience of my life. I actually think that, no, I know, I texted my mother specifically. I planned this. Mother, I planned this out. I waited till she went to my grandmother's house, and I texted her because I knew that my mother could not keep that from my Grammy, and it was kind of like killing two birds with one stone. But, yeah, that's how it all happened. That's my lovely childhood and all its fucking glory, and now I've been out for, like, I want to say like 6 months, and been on testosterone for a little over 2 months, and I've never been fucking happier. I have absolutely no idea why I didn't do this sooner. I would honestly advise everyone in the world, if you are going through this, don't wait, because it takes so much out of you pretending to be someone that you're not. And it's so freeing to finally have people look at me the way that I wanted people to look at me my entire fucking life. And, yeah. So, I hope you enjoyed that probably like 15-minute speed about growing up transgendered. I promise next week's video won't be this long, and it won't be as just talk like this one. I think I'm only going to do changes every 2 weeks now, just so that I give it myself time to actually have a change before I'm trying to put it on a video. So yeah, I will see you guys next Wednesday then. So, bye.